Come with us to Lydford, where I'll be challenging myself to paint 2 watercolour postcards, which I'll share in this video. So where is Lydford? It's in the southwest of the UK on the west border of the Dartmoor National Park. We're staying in the Castle Inn, which is believed to date back to the 16th century and stands next door to Lydford Castle, a notorious medieval prison and courthouse. The place really does ooze history. It's quite atmospheric. So we arrived just before lunch in the first heat wave of the year, checked in, had a little bit of lunch and then decided to walk straight to the gorge. So here we are in the gorge, and this is my first postcard. You'll see me laying down some initial colours to see if I can match those lovely yellowy greens. These are sort of mid-tones in the painting. They're not the lightest, they're not the darkest, so it's like laying a foundation for the painting. Lydford Gorge is owned by the National Trust and is the deepest river gorge in the southwest of England. It has a 30-metre waterfall and a turbulent whirlpool called the Devils Cauldron. We're just walking to the cauldron today as it's so hot, and I think hopefully it will be a little bit cooler there. So in the painting I'm beginning to build up the greens now in the trees, adding some darker greens, allowing those paints to blend into the reflection, and now adding some branch detail coming from the top of the painting down. Light brush strokes, small brush so it's not depositing too much water onto the paper, and allowing that there's some shadows to come from the bank into the water, and reflections not shadows. All the time increasing the intensity of the green and the thickness of the pigment at the same time. So the deeper we're going into the gorge, it is a little bit cooler, and we're now coming up to the cauldron now. There's only 8 people allowed in this little bit here because there's a bit of a drop on the left. There is a handrail, so quite a good idea to hold on to that as you're going down because the rocks are a little bit slippery. But it's quite, you get a gorge feeling about it because very steep-sided rocks and then glimpses of the trees and the sky through. And as you get to the end of the walkway, there's the little bubbly cauldron effect where they cascade of water into the gorge there. So the painting's coming along. I'm painting a foreground with some twigs and some more rocks and extra details on some leaves. And now this is where I've put some masking fluid in, which allows a passage of light to come through the painting. It's where the sun's shining on the water, and it's really nice because you get from the lightest light, which is that reflection, and then to the darkest dark of the dark greens, which I'm adding in a few more darks now, and take the tape off, and there we go, there we're finished. So coming out of the gorge, we decided to have a much needed ice cream and then come back to the pub. Here's a quick show around the bedroom, which was really nice. It just overlooked the garden. Again, it was so hot though, but that's not their fault. It's lovely. And we had fish and chips for tea. And here we are with day 2. I just thought I'd quickly show you the lovely covered bit of the garden where we had dinner last night. And yeah, it's really lovely. So I'm now getting ready to go for a walk. Hubby's going to go on his bike. The man behind the bar gave me a great recommend for a walk. So I'm going to walk straight up the road, out of the village and across the main road and up onto Hare Tor, because I'm really excited to get a good Dartmoor view. Don't know how much I'm going to get done because I'm limited on time, but I'm going to give it a go. So what am I doing here? I am painting something you're going to see a little bit later on in the video. It's unusual for me to paint something so regimented as this in the way of the signpost, but it was such a pretty picture that I thought, right, I've got to give it a go. So Hare Tor's in the background. That's where I'm heading towards now. You can see that above the rhododendrons, I think these are, due to the number of petals they've got. So this is where hubby's gone. He's gone on the Granite Way, which is a cycle path, which looks very lovely. Might have to walk that on another occasion, but we shall see. Carry on walking up the road, taking lots of photos for inspiration along the way. Literally so many azaleas and rhododendrons. It was the season. Very, very pretty. So I've crossed the main road now and I'm heading up towards the Tor. And here we go, the Dartmoor National Park. Always shut the gates behind you. And the painting, I am gradually building up the rhododendron plant behind the signpost with lots of pinks and greens, trying to keep the foliage very loose as an impression against the sharp signpost. I am painting wet into wet, although it's quite a controlled way because I'm working my way around the paper, adding more water as I go. So that's the top, and I didn't get to it as unfinished business. So I think my idea, well, my dream would be is to go back in where it's in the winter, where it's slightly frosty, where I can get maybe, we're talking about a heat wave now, whether we're actually going to get any frost, but maybe come back February, maybe November, December, January, February. So anyway, on the way back now, and I think the picture's coming up now. Here it is, just to show you what it is I'm painting for my second postcard. So I'm gradually homing in on the detail just to finish it off. Funnily enough, the small details make all the difference on that signpost. So I thought I'd take you back to the prison on the final stages. Lydford Castle is considered to be the first purpose-built prison in England. In the late 12th century, it served as a courtroom and jail for the surrounding district. I thought I'd bring the camera up. I'd already seen it once, and I thought, right, I've got to show you because it's just amazing. The atmosphere around it, it feels quite intense. The prison had a reputation deeming suspects guilty before proven innocent, and it coined the phrase Lydford law, which means hang first, try later. So when you look over this railing here and look down, it's sort of quite easy to just imagine what on earth happened centuries ago. Yeah, it's quite atmospheric. So as you walk out, there's a church in Lydford, and this is it now. We're heading off home. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and here are the 2 postcards. See you again soon.